Hi guys, Abs here and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some brand new tools with you, some powerful tools that we use ourselves in-house that help us with private blog networks. And let's just say that if you're not already using these tools yourself, or if you're not using a strategy like this, then by the end of this video, I have maybe two aims. One is to put you in the position so that you can do this yourself. And two, if you don't want to do this yourself, then put you in a position so that you fully understand why top SEOers and top marketers actually do this themselves, so that you know what, you're fully aware of exactly why this gets done. Okay, so I just want to bring us back to earlier this year when I created a video about ranking in Google in 2017. We looked and had a look at Google's patent. It was called information retrieval based on historical data or historical information. And we spoke about the fresh factor and query deserves freshness and, how to boost your freshness scores for each document and all sorts. But one area we spoke about is how this patent outlines in another way of how this can actually affect private blog networks. So I made notes about we as webmasters or we as SEOers and marketers, we go out there and we look for high authority domains that have high trust flow, high domain authority, have good referring domains and good backlinks pointing to them that aren't spammy in archives.org or whatnot you. And then we go ahead and buy these websites. We reposition these websites so that they can fit into our own private blog network, and then we can go ahead and boost our money sites using these actual expired domains. But in the actual video, I made notes about this information retrieval based on historical data, and I made notes of how this can affect private blog networks, and I actually asked you a number of questions, and I made notes about asking ourselves really, is that when we buy an expired domain and we go ahead and reposition these websites, then we need to ask ourselves, has the topic changed from this website to what it was before? Does the old anchor text match the current content that we've added on the website? Has the anchor text actually changed to what the anchor text used to be? Is the site now ranking for different keywords and whatnot you? And if we answered yes to these questions, guys, then it could indicate to Google that, you know what, the ownership of the website has changed, it's been repositioned, and all the historical data that we have about this website is no longer reliable, so we need to start off again from fresh. Okay, I'm going to be showing you another side of this, and I'm going to be showing you how to achieve that other side of this so that we don't have to worry about this, guys. Using that option is entirely up to you though. But what I can assure you is that top SEOs and top marketers are using this method out there. Mainly the guys in the know-how use this method out there. Whether we use it, whether we don't, guys, it's going to be your decision whether you want to use it or whether you don't. But you know what, you should know about this and how it can affect you as well. So anyway, let me go through a quick few slides and then I'll share these strategies and techniques with you. Okay, so let's just say, for example, this is your actual website that it was an expired domain, and you've got a niche or you've got a main money site about weight loss, and now you've repositioned this website to have content on there about weight loss. But the actual links point to this website are about fast cars and BMWs and Mercedes and Audis, because that's what the history was built up on this website before it expired and before you got hold of it. But now Google is able to see that the anchor text doesn't match the content on the website, guys, and this could be a big giveaway. Okay, have a look at this in another way, guys. Okay, so this is the expired domain that you've added into your private blog network. It was about cars, but now it's about weight loss. The previous rankings were about fast car, BMW, Mercedes and Audi, but now it's ranking for weight loss, lose weight, burn fat and fat loss, guys. So it's ranking for unrelated keywords to what it was ranking for before. A big change. Google sees this, it tracks the historical rankings and is able to see, and it could be a big giveaway for our private blog networks or our websites. Okay, let's have a look at it from this way, guys. So this is the expired domain that we've added into our PBN domain. Okay, so now what we've tried to do is we've increased the links pointing to this private to this expired domain, guys. Google see these increased links, but we've also linked out from this private blog network, guys, and Google sees the increase in outgoing links as well. But to add on top of that, guys, we're linking out from this expired domain using keywords that are totally unrelated to what the website was about before, guys. Okay, so it was about, fast cars and Mercedes and whatnot, and now we're linking out from here about weight loss and LCD TVs and dog training. Google sees all this unrelationship, or sees all this change. It knows that everything was, or all the history on this website was built from its history and what it was about fast cars, but now all of a sudden all this change tells Google that them historical metrics and data that they have is no longer valuable or reliable. Okay, here's another last slide we'll look at, guys, before I get over to the actual main topic. So let's just say, for example, this was a website in its stable period. It was ranking for BMW, Mercedes, Audis and fast cars, but then suddenly it's had a sudden growth in topics. So it's still got the BMW, Mercedes and fast cars on there, but now it's talking about tools and vacations, shops and systems and pics and, I don't know, PCs and whatnot. Okay, and also a big change. So for example, the original topics were ranking for BMW, or the original topics of the website was about BMW, Mercedes, Audis and fast cars. But now the topics about the website are about tools and vacations and shops and systems and PCs and pics and whatnot. Okay, so this shows Google that there's been a massive change in that. Okay, now let me show you the other side of this, guys. Okay, this is if we're buying a website and we're adding our own content to it, which means we have to go out there and source content, or we have to go and add our own content to it, which means, you know what, we have to do so much to this, guys. Okay, but there is another way of doing this, guys. And the other way of doing this is this website has built its history and its rankings and everything that it's had based on all the content it had on there before. The website expired and the content has expired as well. What we can do is go ahead and buy the expired domain and download all of the content that we can find from archives.org, add it back onto the website, so it looks like Google that, you know what, the website was ranking about BMW, Mercedes, Audis and fast cars before. It's got content about BMWs, Mercedes, Audis and fast cars. Okay, the website had links pointing to it about BMW, Mercedes, Audis and fast cars, and now it's got links pointing out from it, from like things from it, using things like contact us or just URLs or whatnot, really depending on how you're going to be using these websites, guys. I mean, I personally use these when linking out to buffer sites. So when I say a buffer site, I'd be using things like a social media site that provides a do follow links, like maybe Tumblr or Google site, or whatever provides a do follow link, guys. And I would link out from this site to my buffer site, and then from the buffer site, which would be on topic to my main content, would link out to my money site, guys. Okay, so you're adding a buffer in there anyway. But how you're going to be doing what Google doesn't see though now is that anything has really been changed. Okay, it just sees, oh, you know what, we got all the historical value and data based on this stuff, and the website's still talking about this stuff. So you know what, it doesn't give away a lot of content. Whether this is ethical, then that's entirely up to you to decide, guys. I'm not here to tell you if it's ethical or if it's not ethical, or whether you should use images, or whether it has any copyright infringement issues or anything like that, guys. This is all for you to go out there and do your own research on. I'm just going to show you and teach you the know-how, so that you're in a position to know how it's done, why it's done, and the reason behind it all as well, and what tools are being used and whatnot, you guys. Okay, so let me show you, well, let's go over to archives.org. Okay, so here's a website, guys. I'm going to be using this as an example because I want to show you a number of areas for a tool that I'm going to be outlining to you in a moment. And I'm going to be showing you how to use this tool and everything as well. Okay, so here's a website. It's called revactor.org. Okay, and if we have a look at this website here, guys, as you can see, this now is payday loans and whatnot. Okay, this website was an original trusted website, but then it was actually taken over by a private blog network owner, and we didn't actually catch this transition. So we actually got hold of this website. I picked up on it, guys, and that's why I'm not going to be using this website, but I'm only going to be using it as an example. We all make mistakes, guys, and that's just the nature of the game when we don't, go through all the pages. So anyway, this was what the website was about before. Okay, it was about a website. This is an about page or something, but it's an about page or whatever, and it tells you that the website is about some sort of framework on Ruby, guys. Okay, but then it was taken over because of all the authority, and it was repositioned to payday advanced loans. So this is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. Google sees this. The website about framework, 1 or 2 pages, suddenly has new content on there. It has new links going out from there. And this website is pretty big actually, guys. So when you go over to different pages or when you get on later on down the line, you'll see exactly how big it is and how many, bad pages it has with so many outbound links to all sorts of different places. Okay, so we're going to be using a tool to recreate this website, but the reason I'm using this website as an example, guys, is because I'm going to be showing you how we can set the location of what snapshot we want to actually recreate the website for. Okay, and we're going to be using a tool, and the tool that we're going to be using, guys, can be downloaded free of charge from GitHub. It's called Wayback Machine Downloader. I'm going to be showing you how to download it, I'm going to be showing you how to configure it, and I'm going to be showing you how to use it as well, guys. But to work with this, what you need to do first of all is download something known as Ruby. Okay, and this works with command prompt with Ruby, guys, which I'm going to be showing you in a moment. And I just came over here. As you can see, I'm actually on a new machine at the moment. Well, I'm on an older machine, but a machine that I had in a different office. I've changed my rigs up at home and I'm back on the old machine again, and I'm setting this up on here. Okay, so you download this if it's a 64-bit or if it's a 32-bit machine, guys, just the very top one. And this is from rubyinstaller.org/downloads. Okay, let me just actually close this here and show you how it works. What you need to do then, guys, is you need to install, you need to download this here, come over here, click on download zip. After you've downloaded the zip, guys, unzip it and just install it anywhere on your computer. I installed it on an E drive or something, which is a hard drive on my computer, not my main hard drive though. Okay, and then what you need to do, guys, is after you've downloaded this as well, is you need to come along to start and just type in Ruby. Okay, if you type in Ruby, what you'll notice, you'll have an option down here now saying start command prompt with Ruby. When you click this, start command prompt with Ruby, the very first thing you need to do is come over here and click on, well, highlight this here, click on copy, and then come over to here. Don't click Control V because Control V will just do something like that. What you need to do is you need to right click and click on paste, and that will paste it in there, guys. I've already done this, so I'm not doing this now. Sometimes it starts automatically. If it doesn't start automatically, click enter. After you click enter, guys, you'll go through the setup and just download. It'll download and install everything for you. Okay, so I've already done that, guys. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you some commands that you can work with this, guys, and how quick and how cool it is. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a look at how we can download all pages. Okay, so there's a few commands that we can run. We can run with threads as well. It works with up to about, I believe, 10 threads. However, the issue with this is, let's just go over here. Okay, the issue with this is, I've noticed when working with 10 threads, it seems to miss some pages sometimes. When working with fewer threads, it gets them all. Okay, so what we can do now is I'm going to click on right click and click on paste, and I'm going to click on enter. And what's happening now, this is actually saying that the 75 files or 77 files downloaded or found, and now it's downloading all the files. What I'm going to do is show you how this works. So inside a gem command prompt, we've told the software that we want to use the Wayback Machine Downloader, and we want to go ahead and use this website here, revactor.org, and we want to use 8 threads to get this data downloaded. Okay, and as you can see, this is done, and this is going to save to a location which is users. So for example, Windows users, and then your username, and then a place called websites. Okay, so as you can see, we've got this revactor.org down here. Okay, what's happened down here is even if it has a CMS on there, guys, so even if it's working with WordPress or Joomla or Zenka or what the software does, it downloads all of the folders or all of the files in a folder, and then inside of each file or inside of each folder, you'll see an index.html file. This means you don't need any database linked to this, guys. It's going to be working for you. Okay, if it has an index.html file, then it'll show in here inside of each folder. So this allows you to keep the whole folder structure, and you can actually open this up as well, guys. So it downloads absolutely everything, the HTML, the CSS, and everything. So as you can see, everything's down here. Everything's downloaded as is. Okay, and as you can see, guys, you've got these payday loans and whatnot. Okay, what we can do here as well, guys, is let me just show you something as well. Okay, I'm going to delete this from here, and I'm going to show you something. You might actually come over to archives.org and you might think, well, you know what, I don't want this version of the website. I want a specific version on a date. All you do is come along then, guys, and pick whatever version you want, for example. And then in the URL field, you have these numbers where it says web / and then these numbers, and then it says / HTTP and the URL name. All you have to do is get the actual numbers, guys. Okay, and then what you can do is you can use a to command. Okay, so download all pages from, a from command. So what this allows you to do is tell the software that you want to download all pages from a certain date. Okay, so I'm going to run this command and I'm going to show you the kind of differences that we can get with this, guys. Okay, so I'll just make sure we'll delete that folder. It's deleted. So now we're doing it on a specific date. Okay, and now it's telling us there's 75 files, guys. Okay, and I'm going to explain this to you in a moment. What I'm going to do though is get that date, and I'm going to copy this date, and I'm going to add this to archives.com, and I'm going to show you what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing down here. But if you have a look at this folder down here now, the software has downloaded all of those other things again, Discover Car Insurance, low cost, in the blog. But at this point in time, the actual blog did not exist. Okay, this blog existed here, but if we have a look at this, it's got nothing to do with the other one down. This is all about Revactor and everything, guys, okay? Because this website was in the original condition at this stage. So the problem is how can we tell the software to download a website at its particular date in the way that we want it to be downloaded? So for example, we've told the plugin or whatever here that we want it to be downloaded from a certain date, but we haven't said till what date. So what it's done is taken this snapshot down here, but then it's gone ahead and downloaded all of the other snapshots as well, guys, which is a bit of a problem because the website changed structure. So what we can do now is we can use a to command as well, guys. So now I'm telling the software wayback machine downloader for revactor.org from this timestamp to this timestamp. Now this timestamp here, if I actually copy this and I paste it inside of here, oops, give me 2 moments, oops. Okay, give it a sec. Okay, so as you can see, this from and to date are showing exactly the same thing, guys. Okay, so what we've done now is we've isolated where we want, what kind of site that we want. And we've isolated it by coming to Wayback Machine, getting the date stamps of what we want. Hopefully you guys will be able to understand this. And I'm going to come back here. I'm going to actually delete this to show you, oops, the kind of differences that we can expect now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click on paste and click on enter. And now it's telling us there's only 9 files, guys. Okay, so when I come over to here now, as we can see, we've only got 9 files. When I go over to that blog page, okay, we'll see that we've got the reactor buzz and whatnot. We haven't got the pages that we saw before. And the reason behind it is because we've managed to actually narrow it down. Now, there are a couple of things that you can do is you can actually check the pages before you download them. So for example, what you could do is you go ahead and all you have to do is add the word list on there. So for example, this was the date that we added first of all. So if we go ahead and add this list down here, just to make sure that we're correct and it's right, what we can see from here, if we actually maximize this, I don't know if you can see this or not, so I'll actually minimize it a bit. And I'll scroll all the way to the top to, not all the way to the top, but to the top from where that command was run. Give it a second. Okay, so it goes detecting snapshots and it says found 155 snapshots to consider. So it's actually found 155 snapshots. That's not what we're looking for down here. So what we can do is use the narrow down date that we managed to narrow down and then copy that, add that down here with the list down here, the word list. And then what we can do is scroll up again, and then it tells us, you know what, we've actually found 13 snapshots to consider for this, which is brilliant. And that's exactly what we want, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So 13 snapshots that it's found for this down here. Okay, so let me show you exactly how you can actually install this, guys, really quick. Okay, so what you need to do is the very first thing to do is go over to this rubyinstaller.org website, click on to the left hand side, click on either Ruby 2.4 to whatever, x64 if you've got a 64-bit machine, or x86 if you've got a 32-bit machine. Install it on your computer, guys, and you follow the prompts to install it. It's going to say choose number 1 or number 2 or number 3, and if you're unsure, press enter. Just go with the unsure and press enter and install everything, guys. Once it's installed, then go ahead and download this. Okay, as mentioned, unzip it, install it to your computer, and then what you need to do is come over to command prompt, but command prompt with Ruby. So the best thing to do is to type in Ruby inside of your search bar and look for start command prompt with Ruby. Click this. When you click this, guys, the very first thing to do is to run this command. You only need to run this command once, and this is going to download the gem and, well, install the gem and put it in its correct location or whatever, which is like a script. Once you've run this, guys, then from there on, you only need to come ahead and use these commands that I'm going to be giving you down here. And of course, I'm going to be leaving you this page as well, guys. You can come down here and there's all sorts of things you can do. So you can actually go ahead. Let's just say, for example, you wanted to use this you can actually use this on any archives website, guys. So you don't have to go out there and look for only expired domains. You might know a website, you know, and you only want to go ahead and get PDF documents from it, or you only want to go ahead and get MP4 files from it, or whatnot you, or GIFs or whatnot you. Then there's areas down here that show you how to do this. They show you how to exclude the URL filters and whatnot you as well. So anyway, this is really, really cool to work with, guys. I really hope you understand why users and people and webmasters and SEOs and marketers actually recreate websites to what they used to be in the past, guys. If you don't, guys, then just recall the notes that I made down here, guys. When we buy expired domains and by adding our own content to them, we're in essence changing all of the content and changing everything about the website's history, which, you know, all of the factors will build up from. But when we're actually recreating the website, guys, then we're able to add everything back to how it was, so there's no mismatch in what Google was seeing and what it's seeing now, and hopefully it's giving some more validity that the actual signals that Google has are still relevant today. In which case it still gives it the authority. But also consider the area of when you are recreating a website, guys, then whether there's going to be any implications to any copyright material, whether you have the rights to use this content or whether you don't, guys. That's something I'm not here and I'm not in a position to actually provide you with advice on. So that's going to be down to all of you guys to make that decision for you. But what I will say is that webmasters are doing this, SEOs are doing this, marketers are doing this, and it's a great way, and it does work great, guys, and it does also save a lot of issues with having to pay for content generation and generating the content yourself. But anyway, guys, as mentioned, it's for informational purposes only. Do with it as you please. I'm just trying to bring you some awesome shares coming your way as usual. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for taking your time to watch it.